Welcome to Beyond Timeouts, consequences that actually work. If you've ever felt frustrated that traditional discipline methods just aren't working with your child, you're not alone. Today, we're going to explore a more effective approach to guiding behavior that builds cooperation instead of conflict. Let's start by understanding why traditional discipline methods often fall short. Punishment-based approaches like timeouts might stop behavior in the moment, but they don't teach children what to do instead. They can create power struggles, resentment, and don't address the root cause of the behavior. What we need are effective consequences that lead to lasting behavioral change. So, what's the difference between consequences and punishments? This is crucial to understand. Punishments are about making children suffer for their mistakes. They're often arbitrary and focused on control. Consequences, on the other hand, are about teaching. They're directly related to the behavior and help children learn from their choices in a respectful way. There are two types of effective consequences we can use. Natural consequences happen automatically as a result of a child's choice. For example, if a child refuses to wear a coat, they feel cold. Logical consequences are created by parents but are directly related to the behavior. If a child misuses a toy, they lose access to that toy temporarily. Both types help children connect their actions to outcomes. For logical consequences to be truly effective, they need to follow the 3 Rs. They must be related to the misbehavior, respectful in tone and delivery, and reasonable in duration and severity. When consequences meet these criteria, children see them as fair and are more likely to learn from them. Let's look at some real-world examples to see how this works in practice. When a child refuses to do homework, instead of yelling or taking away unrelated privileges, a logical consequence might be that they experience the natural result at school or lose screen time until homework is complete. When siblings fight over a toy, the consequence is that the toy gets put away until they can share. When a teen misses curfew, they lose the privilege of going out the next time. Notice how each consequence is directly connected to the behavior. However, there are common mistakes that can undermine the effectiveness of consequences. Making them too harsh or too lenient, delivering them in anger, being inconsistent, or making them unrelated to the behavior all reduce their teaching power. We also need to avoid lecturing excessively or giving in when children protest. The consequence itself should do the teaching. So how do we implement this approach? Follow these 4 steps. First, set clear expectations in advance so children know what's expected. Second, when misbehavior occurs, stay calm and follow through with the predetermined consequence. Third, allow the consequence to do the teaching without excessive lecturing. And fourth, reconnect with your child afterward to reinforce the lesson and maintain your relationship. One of the biggest benefits of this approach is breaking free from power struggles. When you implement consequences consistently, you shift from being the enforcer to being the guide. Research shows that families using this approach see significant reductions in conflicts and improved cooperation. Children learn to take responsibility for their choices rather than fighting against arbitrary rules. Ready to transform your approach to discipline? Here are your next steps. Start by identifying one recurring behavior issue in your home. Design a related, respectful, and reasonable consequence for that behavior. Communicate the expectation and consequence clearly to your child. Then follow through consistently with calm confidence. Remember, change takes time and patience, but the results are worth it. You're building a foundation for a calmer, more cooperative home where children learn responsibility and you can parent with less stress.